News Nation's Brian Entin. Brian, how are you doing? Checking in with you, my friend.
Hey, doing pretty good. Just out here on Bayshore Drive, so not far from you. Um, and yeah, just trying to stay dry. We've been outside doing our live shots for News Nation. It's starting to get a little more active out here. Nothing too crazy, but there was a pretty strong little squall that just came through a little while ago.
All right, so Brian, you know where I'm going with this because we have up photos here of the gentleman by the name of Joseph Malinowski, who has been referred to as Lieutenant Dan on social media. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor saying that that Lieutenant Dan was evacuated off of his boat in Tampa. You've been stationed in that area. You're not too far away from our station. What is the latest with this story? Can you take us through it, please?
Yeah, so he definitely has not been evacuated or gone to a shelter, which was kind of weird because we were listening to the mayor's press conference in our ear, and I heard her say that he was no longer on the boat and was at a shelter, and we were standing right outside his boat, and he is still on the boat. And he's not leaving. He doesn't want to leave. I don't know. I think maybe he agreed yesterday that he was going to leave or told some police that, but he has definitely changed his mind. And he's in there right now. I mean, I saw his little hand sticking out a little while ago. He kind of like pops his head out every couple minutes, but he says he's going to stay, which is kind of scary for sure.
Why do you think this story has picked up such significant attention? Is it just the nature of TikTok to pick up a story like this and for it to just kind of explode from there? Is it a microcosm perhaps for Florida? And do people identify a lot of Florida stubbornness perhaps with Joseph's refusal to kind of leave the area? What do you think it is about this story that has really caused it to gain such traction?
Well, I think people are worried about him. I mean, he's missing a leg, and you can't help but just worry for the guy. And he also seems to be a very nice guy, and his sort of story has just gone viral. I didn't even realize it. My friend, I didn't even know. I didn't even know much about him, but I was getting all these texts like, "Oh, you're in Tampa. Can you please go check on Lieutenant Dan?" And I was like, "Oh my God, who's Lieutenant Dan?" I didn't even know where he was, and we were looking at his TikToks. I'm like, "Oh, he's right by where the pirate ship normally is."
Yep.
So we just went over there, and I think people just are worried about him. The only thing I will say, you don't realize when you look at the videos on TikTok, but I mean, that area, JB. He's docked right there near downtown. So, and that's what I told him. I'm like, if it gets really bad, like he can get off the boat. Hopefully, he would do that, and even just kind of run across the street. There's some buildings there and like a parking garage. So I'm hoping that if it starts to really pick up right there, he could just get off. And we're gonna go. We came down here a little ways. We're a couple miles down now, but we're gonna go back and check on him. I was just telling my producer, like, we kind of want to go back every couple hours and just like see how he's doing over there.